Hello everyone, it's Bavar from PTC or Port Terra Conglomerate here, an Australian industrial organisation offering you everything from mining and salvaging through to all your repair, rearm and refuelling needs. We're here with our latest video to give you an overview on what we feel is one of the more underappreciated ships of the verse that you really don't see all that often, the Anvil Gladiator torpedo bomber. Over the course of this video, we will be covering the ship's lore, her overall features and specifications, and how we here at PTC like to use the ship. As a bit of an addendum or bonus to this section, we will also be drawing some links to real-world vehicles that we feel fulfill a similar role to how PTC likes to use the Gladiator. The Anvil T8C Gladiator is the civilian variant of the T8A. Supporting a maximum crew of 2, a pilot and a gunner or WSO, the Gladiator is equipped to engage in combat with or without a wingman. To paraphrase some of the media about the ship, she can undertake a wide variety of missions including space-to-ground bombing runs, support for long-range missions for squadrons, modified CNC and target acquisition or assignment for multi-squadron combat scenarios, aggressive environmental recalibrations, capital ship torpedo strikes, low observability missions, supply drops through enemy-controlled and environmentally hostile territory, and blockade running, as well as law enforcement, focusing on high-value target interception for when you really need them to pull over, or you're going to start throwing torps. When it comes to her specs and features, she's quite the compact yet versatile and agile short-ranged torpedo bomber. She's 22.5 meters long, 22.5 meters wide, and 6 meters tall. Her QT range is fairly standard for her sort of ship, and she does have genuinely quite nice turret coverage, with that turret being able to go up to about 80 degrees worth of elevation and having the full 360-degree horizontal of the ship, with 2 minor blind spots for the rear tail fins. In terms of components, there's pretty much nothing too surprising, with her only really carrying size 1s across the board, but her having some redundancy for her coolers and her shields. It should also be noted, in terms of one of her features down the line, we may also have a limited degree of modularity or flexibility with the ship, as it has been mentioned, albeit some time ago, that her torpedo bay could be swapped out for a small cargo bay, and that turret of hers swapped out for a tractor beam turret. When it comes to weapons for the Gladiator, she comes out swinging with, as a stock setup, dual size 3 guns for the pilot, dual size 3 guns for the turret, and quad size 5 torps, with her having 4 additional hardpoints for various missiles. When it comes to specific loadouts, PTC prefers 4 size 1s and 2 size 2s per wing, with of course the torpedo bay packing the 4 size 5. In terms of how she flies, she floats like a hummingbird with her agility and accelerates like a pissed off cheetah with fantastic acceleration. Her SEM speed isn't too shabby at 200 meters a second, with her afterburner or max speed clocking in at 980. While she doesn't have the highest of top speeds, the acceleration she does have is very punchy, which means you're easily able to change directions and shake people off of your 6. In terms of her agility, her yaw isn't the best, so when it comes to turning, rolling and then pulling up or pushing down on the stick is your best move. I would also caution you, in atmosphere when you're committing to attack runs, make sure your exit vector is clear, as she does suffer quite severely in terms of her maneuverability in atmosphere at high speeds. And well, those thrusters engines she has really are more than sufficient to get you up to potentially dangerous speeds even in the thickest of atmospheres. With regards to claim times and costs for the Gladiator, non-expedited she comes in at 16 minutes and 15 seconds, expedited being 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and the fee being, all things considered, fairly modest. PTC obviously likes to use the Gladiator in what could be described as a fighter bomber or dive bomber role to lean on World War II terminology, or to use more modern equivalents, a multi-role fighter, similar to the long-serving and venerable F-18 Hornet platform, but to be specific, the F-18F, which carries a wide variety of armaments ranging from a 20mm cannon to pretty much most munitions that can hit stuff in the air and on the ground. With regards to the missions that the F-18F is meant to undertake that are similar to the Gladiator, she can handle air superiority, fighter escort, reconnaissance, close air support, air defense suppression, and day and night suppression strikes. As some final remarks for the Gladiator, I definitely don't think this is a fighter craft that people should sleep on, as she can pack a punch and still keep on fighting even after all her stores have been expended, especially if you have that turret crewed. Combine that with her agility and she can be a significant pain in anyone's rear. And if you ask me, that payload combined with her agility and that acceleration really does mark her as sort of that perfect middle ground between light fighter agility and heavy fighter being able to bring the pain, with those torpedoes giving you the ability to reach out and touch someone either a little bit harder or at a little bit greater a range than they might ordinarily expect someone to be able to reach them at. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like down below or a comment with some of your thoughts. And if you're feeling extra charitable and want to hear more from us, click that subscribe button. If you're new to the game or looking at still making an account and hopping in, feel free to have yourself a butcher's at that referral code in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. It'll toss you a few thousand extra credits just to help you get started. This is Bavar from PTC, signing off.